friends, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to come to you very quickly to talk about the slippery slope that is political correctness. And I am 45 years old, and throughout my growing up, the term political correctness and the actual political correct trend grew in power. I never heard of it when I was a young girl, and then at some point it started to become a thing. And now we are at a point, especially because there's so many people on the internet who are afraid to be sanctioned or demonetized or whatever for what they say. We've come to a point where there are people who are too afraid to say anything about anybody for fear of offending some type of group that wants to be represented or treated properly. And it's really, honestly, annoying. And if you call somebody on it, they call you a boomer, or they resort to slurs or something. But the point is, this term and this trend is something that was put into the public for a reason. And it was grooming. It was grooming the population to normalize turning a blind eye to things that they felt were wrong because they did not want to offend the person who did the thing. For example, I'll give you a really good example. There is a thing where there's fat acceptance around these days. Now, there is nothing wrong with promoting the idea of loving everybody for who they are and not judging people on the way that they look. However, there is something very wrong with promoting the idea that it is okay to be fat, that you can be fat and be healthy, that you can be fat and you can't. I was fat, and take it from somebody who was. I will not allow the media to lie to people like that. And people who are overweight want to hear that, but it's not the truth. You are not as healthy as you would be if you were slim. You're not going to live as long as you would if you were thin. You don't see an overweight 100-year-old. You're never going to see that. And just because you can see a 400-pound dancer, that doesn't mean that it's okay. And people are too afraid to say stuff like that. And they're too afraid to try and put that kind of information out there these days because they're afraid of offending somebody. I don't care. I really don't care. And the people who have put this energy out are the ones who are child molesters. They are human sex traffickers. And because they have gotten people into a point where they're afraid to talk about topics like that, they have been able to hide. They don't want you talking. They don't want you saying molestation. They don't want you saying murder. They don't want you saying rape online because those are the things that they do. And so they want those to be deaded. They want those blacklisted because if you are allowed to talk about that, then at some point you're going to talk about them. And I'm sick and tired of it. So we are going to enter a new era where we are not politically correct. We are truthful. And I don't care if I'm offending somebody who is offensive. I will continue to do that. I'm going to match that energy, and I'm going to see you, and I'm going to raise you into the light every single time. Thank you very much. Love you.